you were last one out. Is that normal?
Yeah, on days like this, like right after games, when like the starting 11, they obviously leave early. Most days I'd say I'm the last one out, but a lot of times other guys stay back as well. Like everybody on the team definitely puts in their own individual work after hours, you could say. So today was just a regular day for me.
What are you working on when you're staying after?
Finishing
Finishing.
all day, every day.
How much do you pride yourself on hold-up play?
On hold-up play,
Yeah.
I think this year I've improved in that a lot in that area. Obviously with Mason, he has the wheels. He's one of the fastest kids on the team. I think I knew that when I come on or play or get more minutes, I would have to bring something different to the team, obviously. And one of my strengths is my strength. So I think just being able to use my body well in and around the box, when we're 10 guys behind the ball, it's always a plus for the team.
Now, you mentioned Mason. Do you have like sort of a mentorship relationship with him at all?
Yeah, Mason and Thomas, they're my two little bros. I love them to death. Obviously this year they both came in as freshmen and their level, no drop off at all. They're both phenomenal players. I just love both of them like little brothers. I kid with them a lot. I joke around with them, but they're my little bros, basically.
Do you feel like you have to be a leader on this team because you're one of the only two seniors?
I definitely feel that I do have to be a leader, but I don't need to be a leader because, as I said, everyone every single day brings a level of maturity, a level of professionalism that there's no drop off whether I'm a leader, whether Grant's a leader, because each day we may not be here, may not be in every single part of the field as practice is going on. And then you got guys like JG, you got Frank, you got Corey, the footworks, everybody.
Now, when you do look at like your role on this team, something that a lot of people mention is your personality and how much fun you have out there. Do you feel like a responsibility to kind of bring positivity in tough times?
Yeah, definitely. My whole life, it's been molded by adversity, bad things, and throughout it all, my parents, my mom especially, my dad, they've always preached one thing, always believe that you're blessed and you could put a smile on someone else's face, no matter how bad your day is. So I definitely try to bring that out here onto the pitch every single day.
How close are you with your parents?
Very close, extremely close.
How do you stay in contact with them?
WhatsApp. Do you know what's WhatsApp?
Yeah, I know WhatsApp.
Yeah. WhatsApp. My dad, he doesn't have an iPhone, so I can't FaceTime him, but yeah, WhatsApp.
Have they ever been to the States?
Yeah, I got a lot of family up in the States actually, so my parents have been here a lot. My dad is gonna actually come up for senior night, so that'll be cool. And then hopefully, if we make it to the Final Four, he's gonna be there in Philly too, so that'll be nice.
Now you say hopefully the Final Four. Is that the end goal? Was that the end goal to start this year? The end goal when you got to Indiana?
Yeah, personally for me, I wanted a championship. My uncle, he played at Columbia University. I think they lost to IU in 1981. So growing up, I always knew that Columbia was always a good school, but IU was always that, like the Mount Everest of college soccer. And I always told him growing up, I don't know who I'm going to play for, but I am going to win a national championship. And God just so has it that I ended up at IU. So that is definitely the end goal.
Well, then when you went to Belmont, were you always thinking of going another place after?
I wouldn't say initially I was thinking going another place after. I would definitely say as I got there and I realized how the standard of play differed between conferences, because I wasn't really educated about like the Big Ten, the ACC from back home. I just wanted to get out here to a school. But as I definitely got educated about the standard of conferences, I thought that I could play at a better place. I always believed in myself. I've always put in extra work. And I'm just so blessed to end up here at IU.
What was the recruitment process when you first got to Belmont?
So Belmont's head coach, he was actually his best friend is a coach from Trinidad. And that coach from Trinidad knew me, so I just gave him my video and he sent it to Belmont's head coach. So it's just like that.
Just like that.
Connections.
And did you know you always wanted to come to States for college?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that my parents, they've always preached growing up is education first. I mean, after high school, I could have taken the path like a lot of my schoolmates, a lot of my friends growing up, and just going pro immediately back home. But my mom, she always tried to instill in me education, because soccer could end today. So if that happens, then what? What do I have to lean back on? And it will always be my education.
Mm-hmm. How much of your parents' impact do you think influenced just your level of energy and positivity?
100%, 150%. As I said, man, every single day, no matter if it's raining, whether it's sunny, it could be snowing, I could be having the worst day. I just gotta believe that I am blessed and I could put a smile on somebody else's face, because you never know what other people are going through. If they see a smile on my face, it might brighten up their day. And to me, that's what it's all about. Soccer for me is gonna end in 15, 20 years max. In my playing career. What would I have done other than score goals? I think the impact that we have on people, how they feel when they look at us, how they lean on us for like positivity, confidence, that's the most important thing about soccer to me.
Have you always thought like that when you were back in Trinidad, when you were growing up playing soccer?
I wouldn't say so. I was a very stubborn kid, and then I think by the time I hit 15, my dad, he was like, okay, I was going through one of those stages in my life, and my dad basically put me to the side, and he was like, there's two paths you could go down. You could be positive, be a nice young man, stay in my house, or be stupid, be irresponsible, and you gotta leave. So I was like, all right, well, that's not really much choice, but okay. And then from there, my spiritual life definitely took a turn as well for the positive. I mean, growing up, I always went to church every Sunday, but once those teenage years hit, you kind of stray a little. But my dad was very instrumental in bringing me back to the core of my life, which is God, and always has been God. And from then till now, I'm just trying to improve every day. Though I may falter, I'm trying to improve, trying to bring people closer to Christ as well, because ultimately that's what it's about.
Well, how do you maintain that spirituality while you're a student athlete, you're going to classes, you're training every day? How do you have time for that?
I pray all the time. When I'm on the bus and I'm just looking out the window, I'm praying, Lord, help me be positive. Help this girl who's next to me, if she has on, today, for instance, this girl had on a short pants and a t-shirt. I was like, it's cold. Why don't you have on something? I was like, God, help her to stay warm. I'm just praying all the time. And that's not just, oh, Shadi's such a great person or whatever. That is a direct reflection of my parents, of my family, of my little sisters, of my best friends. That's not me alone. That's everybody else and that impact on my life.
Mm-hmm. And how much did you keep faith in mind when you made that first trip over to the United States and kind of took that risk to come to Belmont?
Oh, well, you can't live without faith. Faith is being able to believe that what is going to come, even though you can't physically see it right now. And I mean, as I said, I've been through a lot in my life where I definitely know that God is real, and anything I ask him for, I always get. I mean, it may sound cliche, but it is definitely true one way or the other. Anything I ask God for, I always get. And that's because of my dad. My dad, he prays. If I think I pray a lot, he prays 3 times more as me. And I look up to my dad, and I always know that I could always do better. I could always show more faith, always be more positive, always be more mature in what I do. Every single thing. I could always do more to make a better, more positive impact.
Now, what were your expectations of what your Indiana experience was going to be like before you came here?
Honestly, I came, and so last year, we had a very good team. Tanner was the highlight of the team. So I knew I was gonna obviously get a lot of minutes, but it was more of like a supporting role, if that would make sense. But I just wanted to come here and be the most complete player I could be. I wanted to improve in every facet. I am strong, I could get stronger. I am skillful, I could become more skillful. From this Indiana experience, I've always just wanted to tick off every single box of my soccer etiquette, you could say, and improve in it, every single thing. And I think to this point, I have been doing that, and I will continue to do so as long as I come here.
Now, when you compare this year's group to last year's, and just how you feel as being part of this team, how special is this team now?
This team is extremely special. Defensively, we have Trey in goal. Trey is very good. Our defense, Goody, Grant, Timmy, Rico/Klein, they're all pretty solid. The midfield, the attackers, everybody is. We have so many weapons this year that it is crazy. I think Goody has 5 goals.
5 goals.
Mason has 6, Corey 4, and you got like 8 or 9 other guys with more than 1 goal. Like, that is unheard of in the rest of the country. And it's easy at this point, like from the outside looking in, you could say, wow, these guys are so good, they're number 1. They could be cocky at this point. But that isn't the vibe at all on this team, because we know that we are a part of something bigger than ourselves. The work we put in last year, the work that has been put in the year before, 40 years before this, we're just a small part of the bigger picture, and we recognize that, and we're just all trying to put a stamp on this program the best we could.
Do you guys have conversations about that?
I won't say we have. We're a very goofy bunch, so we'd never be serious at all. If you look at us, you may think, oh wow, these guys are so professional and serious, but really we're just kids in grown men's body. Like, that's basically what we are. But we definitely have a sort of aura about this team that we know that once we come onto this pitch, it's business. We have got to be better each and every single day. And I think that resonates throughout, from number 1 straight to number 31 on the team.
Now, you mentioned how goofy of a bunch you guys have. After every goal, you guys are celebrating, and you're scoring a lot. Yeah. 5th most in the nation at this point. Griff said you're the one who organized a lot of these dance celebrations. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say that.
So how many of these you got in your arsenal?
We got some more coming.
Okay.
We got some more coming.
Now, can you run me through a few of the ones you guys have already done?
Okay, so Griff, he scored his first goal, I think, the first weekend, and then he went on a kind of stalemate for a little while. But Griff's one of the best attackers in the country, hands down. And one day I was like, Griff, come look at this dance. He was like, what is it, Shadi? I was like, and so obviously Weddy was here last year, and Weddy put me onto a lot of English music, and the name of the dance is the Lean and Bop. It's basically you're just leaning and bopping. Lean and bop, lean and bop. And it's simple, but that's something I showed Griff, and Griff started to giggle. I was like, you like that? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, next goal you score, we're doing that. He scored, we did that. Then we got the Hotline Bling, which is like Drake's dance.
Yeah, everyone's got that down.
Drake and Griezmann.
Of course.
So I've been doing that a lot because I like that. Then Mason has his Millie Rock, which is Mason likes that. So I don't.
You don't touch him with that.
I don't touch him with that. But we gotta switch it up a little bit. I think we gotta score some more goals and get some new dances for sure.
And then you and Corey, I believe on your first goal of the season, you had this kind of move here.
So that was totally impromptu. Like, we did not make that up.
You impromptu both had the same exact.
Yes, that was. I still look at that goal like we still laugh about it because we did not know what we were doing, but it looked perfect. But we were hoping that's how it would look.
Do you ever synchronize these in practice? You practice them?
No, we do that behind closed doors.
Okay.
Yep.
When you start dancing? When you're a kid?
So back home we have Trinidad. we like to say we have the best carnival in the world. So since a little kid, I've always been dancing. I am not the best dancer. My family would tell you that.
Okay.
I am not the best dancer, but I've always been dancing my whole life. It's just something fun to do on the side.
Are you the best dancer on the team?
Yeah. 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 Yeah, hands down. We got some robots on this team. This team has a lot of robots.
Like who? Who we calling out?
Frankie. Frankie cannot dance. Frankie cannot dance. Who else? I don't know, man. We have robots, but we're getting better.
Okay.
Regular season, it's a time to like clean up all our mistakes.
And then postseason play.
Oh,
Clean as dance.
oh, we are gonna. Oh my gosh, they're gonna sign us. I'm telling you, we're gonna go viral pretty soon.
Okay. Now, when you look back at your legacy here at IU, what do you want that to be?
I mean, obviously, every game that I play, my goal is to score goals. First and foremost, as a striker, that's what you're being brought here to do. So obviously, I want to score a lot of goals for my team, help my team out. But most importantly, as I said, soccer isn't the end of life. As you get older, you realize that. The impact I would love to leave on this program is just positivity and being a blessing to everyone around you. That's, at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. Try to bring people closer to Christ and always give off a good vibe all the time. Always smiling. Just making people happy. That's what it comes down to.
And when your time's up at Indiana, what's the end goal?
The goal is to go pro, whether it be in the U.S. or Europe. The goal is to go pro. That's the goal.
How long have you had that dream?
Since I was in Pampas. 1998, looking at France beat Brazil in the World Cup final. When Zinedine Zidane scored those 2 goals. That's when I knew I wanted to go pro. You could ask my dad, he'd tell you that at that moment I knew I wanted to be a pro.
And when you look at pros right now, who do you model your game after?
Lukaku.
Really?
Yeah. Right now, Lukaku's my favorite striker. But, like, obviously, at the collegiate level, it's so high. Like, in the spring, we beat one of the USL teams, so Swope Park Rangers. So you know we could compete. Like, every individual player is at a level where we can play at the next level. And you got to study the game. We all know that. We do a lot of film. But I've been looking at a lot of strikers lately. I would definitely say Lukaku, Chicharito, Benzema. I mean, obviously you got the guys like Suarez, Aubameyang, but I don't play like them. You know what I mean? I try to look at guys who I could follow my pattern after. Didier Drogba, he was phenomenal. One of the greatest strikers to come from this side of the world, Dwight York. He played with Manchester United a while back. I just look at these guys consistently all the time just to see just little things I could pick and learn and then put my little own spice on it.
And the last thing I'll ask you is you guys are #1 in the country. Yeah. What's that like? What's the team mentality? And like, do you guys think about that often? Like that ranking and what the potential end goal is and how seemingly close you guys are?
As I said, we're pretty confident all the time. But when our most important game of the year, I would always say, and all the guys would say if you ask them, is the next game. The most important team we're going to play is the next team. We appreciate what we've done so far this season. We appreciate what we could do later down in the season. But right now, the only thing that we're focused on is Ohio State on Sunday. We have a hunter's mentality where we smell blood and we go for it. And I could stay here all day and talk to you about, yeah, we had a good game against San Francisco. We had 7 clean sheets, but ultimately that's in the past. The most important thing is coming out against Ohio State and grinding them to the ground. And that's what I think is so special about this team. We appreciate what we've done. We appreciate what we could do. But at the end of the day, we want to, every team that we come across, we want to kill. Like, that's as simple as I could say. We want to eat them alive. I'm not even lying. I'm telling you, we want to eat them alive. So that's my take on that.
Well, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thanks, bro.
God, you're the best conversation ever. Oh my God.
Thank you.